Well, now I want to describe our first trip to for our own spinal fluid study on acid-base balance. The drive from Owens Valley Base Station to the Barcroft is about 40 miles. Much of it is past the bristlecone forests and along the 10,000-foot high green plateau, at least green in the spring. The last 20 miles of this unpaved plateau road to Barcroft are sometimes pretty steep and may be muddy, rutted, or even snow-covered, even in the summertime. So after a difficult ascent in a UCSF station wagon, in a snowstorm, sliding off the muddy and snowy road, and shoveling drifts, we finally got to Barcroft. It was warm, lighted. It was with hot and cold water, and even a cook, and 3 meals a day. So, CSF was set up, and we took samples in syringes or later by catheter directly into the tap needle of my homemade blood gas electrodes, since there were no portable or any kind of useful accurate PCO2, PO2 electrodes at that time. This was in 1962. What we found was this. The arterial and CSF PCO2 pink fell about 10 torr after one night at altitude. This should have raised CSF pH about 1/10 of a pH unit, 10 millimeters per 1/10 of a pH. But we found that the CSF pH had risen only 0.02, about 1/5 of what we might expect. It remained slightly alkaline for our whole nine-day stay there. The CSF bicarbonate is the clue here. It's the yellow line, and it fell overnight by 4 milliequivalents per liter, while the blood plasma bicarbonate and blood SBE fell slowly over the next week as the kidneys compensated for respiratory alkalosis. I suggested in the report I wrote that the rapid fall of CSF pH must have involved active transport. But this was we were not ever able to confirm that idea. I actually spent a sabbatical in Copenhagen trying to figure that out. Didn't work. So most now believe that the sudden fall was caused by brain hypoxic lactic acid production. Even at sea level, the brain continuously excretes lactic acid, and it will stop secreting it if you increase the CO2 and oxygen at the same time. So you over-oxygenate the brain, and then it doesn't express lactic acid. Well, we asked then whether the same mechanism might be involved in cerebral blood flow regulation at high altitude.